Does this ever happen to you? You're in Disney World and you want to go on a Pacific ride, and there's like, oh no, a big long line. Well, there are some rides in Disney World that can help you out, actually have fun within the lines, and actually give you a taste of which ride you're in. While you're waiting in line, they give you stuff to do and some fun while you're waiting in the line. So it makes it more fun and you don't have to wait so long. So here are the top 5 things you can do in the rides in one of the lines in Disney World. And these are lines that people do within the rides, like things I set up within the lines. So I'll be looking into that kind of stuff. So things like you can do on your phone and stuff like that will not be on this list. There will be a separate list for that, but that's not what I'll be doing. So here are the top 5 lines for that. Number 5, Dumbo the Flying Elephant. This ride has like a line where you have to wait. This is in Disneyland, so I can't say that's in Disney World, so just so you know. So while you're waiting in line, there are these little things in the corners to do. Like there are little games, like there's one where you have to switch a clown to make it look like itself. Like little pictures, so you have to like make a square and you have to shape it around and go around. And there are some little puzzles in the little corners, like little toys in the corner you can play with. Little stuff like that. Nothing too big, but something to keep the kids occupied. It's something too special, it's something too fun, like something little. So it's kind of a cute thing for you to do in the lines, but not much to keep you much occupied, so that's why it's so low on the list. Number 4, the Indiana Jones Show and Ride lines. These lines can be pretty long. So for Indiana Jones, they have some things where what you can do in the lines. Like there are certain games you can play, certain puzzles you can figure out, and the elevator moves up and down as you go in. So it kind of shakes a little bit when you go in. So it's kind of really cool to imagine yourself in that kind of thing. And there's also little fun little puzzles you can figure out, like little numbers, little stuff. You get a little ticket that the cast member gives you, and you have to figure out the puzzle. It's only for a limited time only, but sometimes you can ask for it if you really want to use it for the cast member. So you can actually ask them to give it to you. And then sometimes there are these ropes you have to pull, and you can hear a little noise of somebody going down or up. That's also a secret thing you can do while waiting in the lines. So that's one way to keep yourself occupied with Indiana Jones rides. So this is a lot of fun and keeps you immersed into the world of Indiana Jones. So it's really nice that they do that for Indiana Jones. My brother loves it a lot, so it's good to mention it here. Number 3, Peter Pan's Flight. Now we all know that this ride is very long. It has a very long line, and it's very long as can be. But I always hope that I always get into that one part of the line where you get to use the little bells and the little shadow work thing. Because there's a little screen set up right in almost when you're about to go on the ride. You're this little area where you can just wait, and it's like a little screen or a little shadow where you can ring little bells. You can look for Tinkerbell. You can see your shadow. You can touch little things with your shadow, and it's really cool. I highly recommend you go play with that thing because it looks really cool in the Peter Pan thing. The only thing I can consider is that it takes a long time to get to that part of the line, so you might have to wait a while for you to actually see the Peter Pan funness of it. So hopefully you guys can have fun with that, and you can also find Tinkerbell. I like to play a nice spy with her and try to find her within the line. So that's kind of fun to do. I remember when my parents and my brothers were playing it, they had so much fun, so that was really great. Number 2, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. This one's only in Disney World, so I'm only going to mention this in Disney World. In Disney World, there is a waiting area in Winnie the Pooh I really love the best. Now, we all know that Peter Pan, like I mentioned before, Peter Pan had this one where it's a little screen, you could play games on there. But Winnie the Pooh has that one too. And it has more than just that. It has little instruments you can play with. There's like little things you can touch everywhere. So there's a lot of stuff you can see and do with Winnie the Pooh. So unlike Winnie the Peter Pan, it has more games and more things to do in the lines. And so it's a lot of fun for the kids and yourself. So I recommend you go and do Winnie the Pooh as much as you can, because it's really a lot of fun games to play. There's like this one touchpad one you can make little leaves. There's one where you can like play instruments and stuff. So it's like really cool. I highly recommend you go check that out. And also explore maybe Rabbit's little treehouse too, because there's a lot of games in there too that you could play. Really a lot of fun. And number 1 is Soarin. Soarin is a very long line too. Not as long as Peter Pan, but it's definitely a very long line. It's definitely worth the wait if you try Soarin. It's an amazing ride. The one of the things about Soarin that really does for you, it's an amazing, amazing gameplay. There's like an amazing tablet screen where they put up, and then you have to like play a certain soaring game. I don't remember what the game was, but you had to like touch things with your hands, or kind of similar to the Peter Pan game. But it's a very interesting game because you get to do a lot of other things, and it's like a really fun game. I recommend you go see it for yourself because it's a really awesome game. I really can't explain it enough. It's a really interesting game for Soarin to do. So while you're waiting in the Soarin line, remember to keep a lookout for that particular game, because I think it's a lot of fun to see for yourself. I can't quite explain it myself, so I can't explain it enough. Go and see for yourself, because it's a really fun game to wait in the line for. So if you can tolerate waiting, if you can tolerate seeing Soarin, play this game in this line. It's really a lot of fun. It's set up right there with a screen, just like Peter Pan. It's really way more fun than Peter Pan, I have to say. But it's definitely an amazing, amazing investment into Soarin. And that's all my top 5s of fun things they have set up for you in Disney World and Disneyland and within rides. I hope these rides have given you a better helpful explaining of where everything is within the rides, and hopefully you get to use those tips I mentioned to find all those things in the lines, because it really helps you to do something while you're waiting and things you haven't noticed. So it's really good that you go check out those things. I'll be doing more of these top 5 soon, so get to see more of them soon. And please subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. And I'll see you next time.